And thank you all for joining us on this 11-day journey into the spectacular, the surprising, and the unknown that starts tonight. Thank you for being a part of the Tiff community. Thank you for staying curious. So let's go with the opening night film. Tonight's film comes to us from a singular filmmaker. It was 24 years ago that David Gordon Green brought a beautiful, low-budget indie film to the festival called George Washington. Yes, I love it. It feels like this whole section is a George Washington stan group. His next film, All the Real Girls, won prizes at Sundance, and from there, he took his career wherever his curiosity led him. To wild comedy in Pineapple Express and Your Highness, to rich character studies like Joe and Manglehorn and Stronger, all of which played at our festival, and more recently plunging into horror with a reboot of Halloween, which premiered in Toronto here in 2018. Love it. Along the way, David Gordon Green has attracted some of cinema's best actors to his projects and given them the opportunity to show their range. And that's what attracted us to Nutcrackers. We know Ben Stiller for the genius comedy he's brought to Zoolander, which I don't want to tell you how many times I've seen Zoolander. Don't ask me to do any of the characters, please. And Tropic Thunder, and for the sophisticated character work he's done in Wes Anderson's The Royal Tenenbaums and Noah Baumbach's While We're Young, which we were proud to premiere here in 2014. Nutcrackers brings out the rich, emotional storytelling that both Ben Stiller and David Gordon Green are known for. But it's not too snooty for the occasional raw gag as well, so of course we loved it. And I'm so glad that David and Ben and the team from the film have come to present the world premiere to you. Please join me in welcoming back to Toronto David Gordon Green and Ben Stiller.
Well, hello. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for coming tonight. I just want to say that for me, this is like coming to TIFF is like a rite of passage. It's like a birth for so many of the movies I've made. So it's amazing to be here. And thanks to Cameron and the programmers, the staff here at TIFF for always making me feel at home here. So this is beautiful. I'm excited to be here. Thanks to Rivulet Films, Rough House Pictures for making this movie possible. I guess it was about a year ago when I was in the editing room on my fourth in a series of horror movies, and they were super fun, and we had a great time, and yet there's an inevitable darkness that you sit in, not only in the writing phase, not only in the production, but in the editing room day after day, and there was a part of me that just thought, maybe it's time, maybe this is a moment for movies, maybe this is a moment for me personally to do something different. I also have 13-year-old twin sons, and I was kind of looking to make a movie that they were allowed to see. So this is, at the same time, I'm sharing with my sons movies that I grew up with. Movies like The Bad News Bears, Breaking Away, Uncle Buck, a lost treasure that Kenny Rogers starred in called Six Pack, and movies that really meant a lot to me in my development. And so I kind of challenged myself. I thought, maybe this is a moment to make a movie without cynicism and viciousness. Is there a way to make a movie that invites the family of, in my weird way, I guess, but the family to the movies? Meanwhile, I go to visit rural Ohio, where these cool kids, the Jansen brothers, live. So I think they're here. That's cool. So Homer, Ulysses, Arlo, and Atlas are the four young sons of my close friend from college, Carrie. And whenever I see them, there's this magnetic charisma, this charm, every animal on their farm, the stories that we tell, the inspirations that we have every time we get together, the expression really triggered something in me. And those voices start to talk to you in your head sometimes, and something says, let's make a movie, So then I thought, well, we need a script. So I called Leland and said, Leland, we need a script. We need to make a movie. And then I called Mike and I say, Mike, we need a 35mm camera. We need to make a movie. And started getting that adrenaline that we're going to make a movie. And then I thought, well, we've got a great script. We've got a camera. Everybody's ready. We need a movie star. So it became this great opportunity to work with one of my favorite actors, one of my favorite people on the planet. And the fact that he was crazy enough to take a risk, I know he didn't know what he was signing up for. but I love him forever for it, for taking a chance, for joining the circus, and for being a part of our family. Let's say hi to Ben.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, first of all, I just want to say what the Prime Minister said about I've made a bunch of movies in Canada, and it's always been an amazing experience. And he's right, you know, it's stood in for different places in New York. And when people will talk to me sometimes about the Night at the Museum movies, they'll say, wow, what was it like shooting in the Museum of Natural History? And I'll say, it was actually a warehouse in Vancouver. But it was a beautiful warehouse in Vancouver, and I had 3 beautiful experiences shooting here. And yeah, I just want to say I'm so happy that David called me about this movie. It's so from the heart. It's so organic. He sent me this email. He didn't call. He sent me an email, and he said, I got this idea, and there are these 4 kids, and they've never been in a movie before, but I think they're incredible, and I want to shoot at their farm in Ohio, and there's going to be, you know, hogs and cats and you know, stuff like that. And I was like, all right. And there was just something so real about making this movie, and it was just unlike any experience I've ever had. And I'm so happy I got a chance to work with you, David, because I've always loved your work. And I'm so proud that the movie is opening night here. Thank you for having us. It's an honor. It's really an honor. And I hope you guys enjoy watching the film as much as we made it, and I hope you enjoy Nutcrackers. Thank you. Yeah.
Some people I want you to meet. Please join me in welcoming the director of Nutcrackers, David Gordon Green. The star, Ben Stiller. And these amazing kids, Homer Jansen, Ulysses Jansen, Atlas Jansen, and Arlo Jansen. Come on out. Congratulations. Terrific film. I'm glad you 2 guys are here, but I'm especially excited that the Jansens are here tonight. Thank you.
Yeah.
I want to start, though, with a story, and David, you talked a little bit about it at the beginning, but could you tell us a little bit more about why this story right now, for both you and for Ben? I'd like to hear from both of you on that.
For me, a lot of it is just the coming out of a creative run of dark themes in movies, and the execution and the mindset, the atmosphere of that, I was looking for some lightness. And I also think that in films that you see coming out in the theater, it's lacking a little warmth. It's certainly, we're in a comedic drought. You know, a lot of that's going to streaming, but the theatrical experience of comedy I'm looking for. So trying to feed both my intuition as an artist and also what I feel like an audience would have an appetite for, and having young kids and watching the movies they watch, I want to make something a little different.
Love it. And Ben, why now?
I think for me, you know, I've been working on projects as a director and a producer for a while, and wanting to act, but I kind of made a choice a few years ago that I was only going to do something if it really hit me and really was something that resonated with me. And just this script came in front of me, and David emailed me one night, and for some reason I read it right away, and it was intuition. It hit me. It was just like something about this movie. I want to make this movie. I want to meet these kids. I want to be a part of this experience. I can't explain it to you, other than it was just a feeling of like, feels like something that I want to do, and to work with David and know where he was coming from with it, which was such an organic, emotionally real place. He just was, this movie is made because of you guys.
is because you exist. He was inspired. He was inspired by these 4 people to make a movie about them.
We learned so much about you guys as brothers, as a family, but also as artists, as performers in the film. But as I understand it, this was your first time doing a movie, is that right?
Yes, this is our first time, and I just want to real quick. Sorry, testing.
You're good.
I just want to real quick thank you all so much for watching our movie and being here. It's such a huge opportunity, and thank you all so much. And yes, this was our first movie ever. It's such an unreal feeling just being able to even hear those words out of your mouth. I mean, we're so grateful, and thank you so much.
Of course. I want to ask each of you, in making this movie with Ben and with David and everybody else, what came the most naturally to you about the movie-making process, and what was really hard?
It was seeing all the camera stuff and all that stuff. It was great.
Sounds like you're getting used to it.
Yeah, it was just the most amazing thing to see everyone walk and being act. It was so cool. And David direct. It was just the most phenomenal thing ever.
Okay, yeah,
It was a really good experience.
okay.
Just being able to see like all the people fit into like the pieces of the puzzle. Everybody was like family on set. Everybody loved each other, and everybody worked together so well, and it was amazing.
I would also add that their mother, Carrie, was a second unit cinematographer on my first film, George Washington. We went to film school together, and so I think artistic talent, inspiration runs in the family.
David, you mentioned that the theatrical movie experience is a little different than it used to be maybe when you started with George Washington and the other films that you made, and that this kind of film that's got comedy, that's got the heart, that's a family drama with some comic moments in it, we don't see enough of them, or not as much as we used to. What are your hopes for the movie? Where do you think this will go? How do you think this will reach audiences now?
That's the tricky question. You just look at the industry right now, and I've got so many ambitions, and you want to both respect the business models that are out there, but also challenge it and push not just a distributor or a marketing department, but also an audience to seek out the companionship of the cinematic experience, and it's a different. You know, I watch movies at home all the time, but I also love to go out of my way and see something new, something old, something delicious with a lot of people, something I hate even. Like, I love the emotion even when you're feeling like not feeling it, you know? And so I'm hopeful that movies inspire not just checking out at the end of the day and zoning out at a TV to escape, but also go out of your way, find parking, wait in line, get popcorn, look at people, feel it together, have a conversation afterwards. That's just the activity I kind of enjoy as a person.
Yeah. And I would just add that I think David and a bunch of filmmakers, probably of our generation, I'm a little older than David, but had this experience of going to the movies and seeing movies like this in theaters. And by the way, what a gift to be able to screen the movie here for everyone here at the festival in a theater with an audience for a movie like this. And you're the first people seeing this movie ever, really, except for some friends of David. And so, I think it's important for us to try to have movies like this experience a movie like this in a theater and hopefully theatrically, because I think we need more movies like this on screens, and for us it's nostalgia. It's going back to what we grew up with, but I think it's what people enjoy when going to the theaters, to have an experience that's that can only happen in the theater. And I think for me, the movie has so much heart. And also, before we stop talking, I would like to talk about the farting at some point. Do you want to say anything?
Yeah. No.
What happened?
Well, I farted for like 20 seconds. I don't know.
It was incredible. It was incredible. Because we all cracked up, and I wish it was in the movie. It's not in the movie.
So the moment in my life that they're referring to is when the two twins are coming up to Ben's character and trying to get a bedtime story out of him. There's an 8-second fart that happened that we edited out of the film, but I took the sound effect and put it earlier at the dinner table so that the fart's still there, misplaced. Nobody will ever know. It's my secret. Don't tell anyone.
Probably the only fart conversation you'll have the whole festival, so I just wanted to get it out.
We might just take this and run with it. Ben, you were watching the movie with our audience tonight. Was there anything in the reaction and the kind of collective response that surprised you?
Well, I was saying it's just fun to actually see the movie with an audience because I think David made the movie for an audience, and to hear laughs and to hear people with the movie, to hear people reacting and connecting. I mean, again, it's just the only thing you can experience in a theater, and so for me, that's the most satisfying thing is to be able to have this experience right here, right now. I hope it happens in the future, but just to have this tonight, and for the boys, this is the first time you guys are seeing the movie ever, right?
Yeah, this is the first time, and it was unreal. It was so cool and nostalgic and so funny and fun to watch.
Great.
They're still keeping us on our toes about the ending of the movie because we had to come back here. We'll see it one day, though. We'll have to.
And also, while we were filming the movie, because these guys are really good dancers, they're ballet dancers, and we got to see the actual performance of the production of Nutcracker that you guys were doing, right?
Yeah,
When we were shooting.
we're doing it in a couple months here for our actual studio, too, once we go back. We're going to have to start rehearsing.
Yeah, I recommend going to check it out, because it was really, really well done, and you guys are all very talented as dancers.
Yeah, thank you so much, Ben.
You're welcome.
You're such a talented actor.
Not
Thank you.
exactly as we planned it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Guys, was there anything watching yourself on this rather large screen for the first time in a movie that kind of shook you or surprised you? What was that experience like?
Well, I can't really describe seeing my face on a ginormous screen as well as I would want to, but it was kind of like, whoa, there I am, and there my whole family is, wow. It was really amazing.
When I saw my face, I was just like, wow, hello there.
Okay, and how about you guys? Any reactions to seeing yourself that
I was the
big?
same. I was like, who's that handsome devil on other than
You guys are made for the movies, obviously. Listen, I want to thank you so much for being here. It's just been a terrific way to kick off our festival. We're so glad to have Nutcrackers make its premiere here, to have David back, to have you, Ben, back. Jansen's, we're going to see you guys again, I'm pretty sure as well.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. The team from Nutcrackers.
Thank you all so much.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.